Good morning. I wanted to go through an issue that's somewhat thorny for all of us in education and truthfully in business as well. And that's the issue of plagiarism. So there are times when we read something and we suspect it might have been plagiarized. But I think it's most important that we review our academic integrity policy that New School has. And there are some tools which I provided in the hub that you can use. I have created a channel that I can use in my team's classrooms, and I encourage you all to look at the files that are in it and potentially put that channel and those 4 files into your team's classroom so your students have these as resources. The channel I call is Academic Integrity, and I'm going to provide a link for you that you can get at it and be able to just copy these files down. And the files are 4 fairly simple files. File naming conventions, so when you're collecting files, you at least have some way to manage them. The academic integrity policy that we have in the catalog. An APA handout that gives a quick overview for students so they understand how to do the basic elements of citation in APA, and a short video that Jeb Vossler created for Santa Fe that we've adapted for New School. So take a quick look at the video because it's a good, simple way to explain to your students the whole issue of using other people's work. I'm just going to show you the link, but I will also post it in the hub under the teaching tips so that you've got it available to you. One of the crucial elements of plagiarism, in my opinion, is making sure that we have taught our academic integrity policy and that students know how to do citation. Now, we do that through several different avenues in the school, but it's important for all faculty to not just try to catch somebody who's plagiarized, but to guide them along to make sure that they don't plagiarize. If they're trying to use somebody's information, they need to be able to cite it and cite it properly. The library has been excellent in providing resources and tools for students to learn this. And I think it's important for us as faculty to make sure that our students know that they can avail themselves of those resources. The next topic I want to cover is the tools that we have available in Blackboard for helping discover work that has not been cited properly and work that has truly been plagiarized. So I want to go through this a little bit and help you to understand it. You'll notice that in my Blackboard, I'm using a class from fall of 2018, so I can show you some of the information and how these tools work. But you'll notice in my classroom that I also have the academic integrity module installed as a module in my Blackboard classroom. And I do that in every course I teach so that it's available to students on a continuous basis. I think it's very important that we keep reminding people of what our academic integrity issues are. So I've included it in my Blackboard. So in Blackboard, we have the ability to give assignments. So I want to look at the assignments that I've put in here. And you'll find all of these, once again, were from 2018 fall. So it is historical information. I will block out any student information so you can, it won't be exposed. But here's what I want you to look at. So I have a writing assignment in this class because I'm concerned about our students being taught how to write better. And when I talk about better, I mean without plagiarism and with proper grammar. So in the writing assignment for this class, I have 3 different submissions that they have to do. We can get into the details of how I do that, but what I want to talk about here is the issue of TurnItIn. TurnItIn is a software that we have available to us in our Blackboard classroom that allows us to, instead of just having them submit an assignment that drops into the gradebook, it'll submit it through TurnItIn and drop it in the gradebook, and it gives us a chance to look at things. So in this particular case, I want to show all of my students who have submitted their assignment. I can look at this in a couple of different ways. First, you'll see that there's a way that if I was a student in this class, it would automatically have my information in, and I would just have to select my file from my computer, put it into the system, and it would submit. This is how a student turns it in. For a faculty member to find out how things go, there's two methods. The first is looking at the full grade center. And as you can see with the normal grade center, there's yellow dots that show information that has been submitted and is waiting for grading. So this is one way to look at it. But the second way, which is the one that gives us more access to it, is we can go down in our course tools section and click on TurnItIn assignments. And that'll bring us into the TurnItIn template, which allows us to look at the actual submission. So if I look at, I want to look at submission one, revision 1, because that's the one that's on the gradebook. That you can see what I receive here is a report that lists the students, the title of their submission, and a similarity report. Now there's a big difference between similarity and plagiarism. Similarity is when we want to look at and see, has this work been used previously? So that's where we look at similarity. I believe TurnItIn has about 8 billion papers that they roll these papers against. So they will roll those papers against their database and provide you with a report that shows, and provide the student as well. The student gets this report and can get it. But the advantage of this is it gives you information that tells us what the, so it shows me the paper that was submitted, but I can go and look at a report over here on the side that will show me where it has matches and where those matches were. So in this case, there's an internet source where it's saying 7% of the work is similar to the information that's on that particular site. If we look at other items, you can see where they are tagged, and they're numbered in the document and tagged to show which item they relate to. This gives you the ability to counsel your student to say, is this something significant? In other words, I don't know how I would reword or paraphrase studied at Cal Poly State San Luis Obispo, but it's because of its string of words, it's saying it's something that is similar. It's more important when there is a large passage, any larger passages, to see if there are things that have not been cited properly. What I found in most cases with my CM 153 students is we were looking at errors in citation or lack of citation much more so than intentional plagiarism. So it's really important to use the tools properly. Back to our report here, you'll find that it gives a couple things. It also gives me the list of students who did not submit a paper. It gives me a point of when they were submitted. Okay, so TurnItIn gives you quite a bit of stuff. And so I guess the next question is, how do we get a TurnItIn assignment? So let's go back to assignments here. Okay, I'm back in my assignments portal. So I want to create a new TurnItIn assignment. And so what I do is I go to assessments, and lo and behold, there's a Turnitin assignment link right there. So to create a Turnitin assignment, as opposed to just a regular assignment, I use the Turnitin link, and it takes me to a template where I can create a type of assignment. I'm going to call this a paper assignment. And, for you, you can use it for whichever type of assignment. Maybe it's the final thesis presentation, maybe it's interim drafts of it that allow you to work with your student to make sure they are. Okay, so now here we get a template. So Turnitin gives us a template then to create the assignment. And I'm just going to call this one test 1, and I'm going to give it a value of 50 points. I can set my start date, set my due date, set my post date, which is not important because we do not have the grade mark system in here. We allow only file types that Turnitin can check for similarity. So I want to make sure that a student isn't turning in a JPEG or a PDF, but they're turning in a Word document or a document that is going to be checked. So I hit submit. So I've now created an assignment that shows up in my channel, and it's right down here. Students can click on the view complete, which will bring up their template to submit their file. And then I can go to my Turnitin assignments and look there and see that my test 1 is in the Turnitin assignments. And if I want to look at it, I can just click on it, and it gives me my table where I will ultimately receive the similarity and be able to look and see what the students have done. It's important for you to know you can export all of the papers. You can edit your assignment, and you can use this tool effectively. I learned about it when I was taking my master's at Walden, and I have to say that a combination of Turnitin and a topic that we'll talk about in a different video, but Grammarly, were two things that helped improve my writing tremendously. So hopefully this will help you in understanding that the tools are available to you to help your students improve their writing, reduce their plagiarism, and particularly help them to eliminate unintentional use of others' works without citation. Thanks for your time.